Hola, gracias por darle clic a esto, darle play. Esta es una entrevista con Jamie Stewart, el cantante y genio detrás de XiuXiu, una de las bandas más vanguardistas de nuestro tiempo, un sonido totalmente único y que en muchos blogs internacionales ha tenido bastante acogida. Aquí vamos a hablar con él de muchos temas, Nina Simone, la música del futuro, la música del pasado. Gracias por escuchar esto. Aquí está Jamie presentando una de las canciones de su último álbum y luego la entrevista. Espero que te guste y un abrazo grande para ti que estás escuchando esto.
Hello, Rockdolly. This is Jamie from XiuXiu. Thank you for being so nice all the time. This is Stupid in the Dark.
Is just fantastic for me. I hear it. It's a delicate but powerful punch in our ears. You know, every time I hear it, it just causes me goosebumps, chills every time. And one of the voices that every music lover should listen to. So that's why I played so hard in the radio station. This album has a general concept message that are you trying to send for people?
Oh, I always shy away a little bit from really explaining things too much. It's more important to me that if somebody would listen to it, that they would, if they have any impression at all, that they would have their own impression of it. It is important to me that if somebody listens to it, that I do hope that they get something from it. But what they get from it, I would hope would be individual to them and not trying to understand it in the same way that I understand it.
You know, this album has some shiny noises. It sounds so metallic. I hear it, and you know what? When people hear it, there is only one word that they could say. It's dark. Well, besides you say that you don't like to explain, but what is the concept of darkness in the band?
One thing that the band has always done, even we've experimented with our sound a lot, but the idea behind the band has always been to write about things that are happening in our lives or in our families' lives or in politics. And generally, life is pretty dark.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's a reflection of what's happening to the people around me in my life.
Yeah, and we can feel it that darkness or that pain in the sounds. There are so many people trying to be different in the world, in the bands. They try to all the people wants to be in a band and make some different stuff, but maybe it's too easy to fall in just noise. It's just fucking noise, and there's no reason why. How do you handle to make this beautiful music but not fall in just noise that people cannot understand? They're so very delicate, the way you play instruments. So I want to ask you, there are some kind of preference instruments that you want to play or you're excited about lately?
Well, it's an interesting time for me with that question, actually. During the making of the record, I was very much focused on analog synthesizers, and that was basically all we used for the whole record, a drum set. Lately, I've been interested a lot in playing harmonium again, which is an instrument that I haven't played in a long time, but used to play a lot. It's like a Indian pump organ. It's basically like a pump piano.
Okay, but this is like analog, or are you trying to get away from synthesizers?
No, not at all. I still totally love synthesizers, but just sorry, I was not very clear. just playing harmonium in addition to playing analog synthesizers a lot. A lot of the really the main influences for this record were bands that mostly from the 70s and early 80s that all used analog synthesizers. So it was an attempt to.
That's amazing. So you're trying to recover the instruments from the past to make this futuristic music.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. From your first project, that was 10 years ago, if I was clear?
It's 12 years ago now. We started in 2002.
From that time to this last album, what kind of ideas have you kept in terms of music and what kind of ideas have changed between the records, and what do you think about the previous stuff that you have made?
Well, one idea that we kept is basically what I just said before, and that all of the records are always about real things that are happening around us. That none of the songs are just impressionistic or just party songs or something like that. I think for this band to be what this band is, that we'll always maintain that idea, and I don't think that's essential in every music. And certainly a lot of music that I enjoy doesn't subscribe to that at all. But for this band to be what it is, I think it will always need to be that way. I suppose over the life of the band, we've different records have had different sets of influences. When we first started, we were very certain that we wanted to do a combination of noise music, modern classical, post-punk, dance floor music, and noise music, and we've certainly held on to some of those elements. At different times, we've also added folk music or different Asian percussion musics, some elements of free jazz. And on this last record, we tried to actually strip it down the most and pretty much only focus on trying to be very only focused on by bands, Einstürzen, Neubauten, Suicide, maybe Scott Walker, Nepo, and Kraftwerk.
And people can feel it, it's amazing how the power of music, they play the record and the people, in the night, maybe in party or maybe in the radio station, you hear the XiuXiu music, and it's amazing the reaction that people has in your music. It's really, really amazing. I've heard the Nina album, which is a tribute to Nina Simone, but why do you choose Nina? What kind of respect or what do you think about her?
The first time that I heard one of her records, somehow I had missed had missed her music. I'm not really sure how, but I heard it on tour in I think 2004. A friend of mine gave me a live record of hers, and I had never heard anything that was this really remarkable combination of being very, very politically direct, being kind of crazy, musically virtuistic, having a beautiful and very unique voice, but also very open with her feelings. I'd never heard anything that had that combination before. She's a tremendous inspiration to me.
I think for this new generation, maybe your remake of that Nina voice or sounds are the sounds that will be listening in the future. Maybe your voice. I mean, this is just simply amazing. I mean, your voice is like everyone will remember your music once they listen to your record. I mean, it's just amazing how you handle your voice.
Sweetheart.
Is there any studies have you made for I don't know to sing like that?
Oh, just a terrible childhood, basically.
How do you what are you listening to this now? What surprised you lately in music?
Mostly I've been listening to really ultra experimental minimalistic electronic music like Alvin Lucier and Eliane Radic. Kind of mostly just them lately. It's almost not even music. They're just very long tones.
Like music, like sound explorations, you know?
Yeah, more like that.
Okay, and previous stuff like ancient stuff, maybe from the '60s or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm always been a big Motown fan. I really love early rock and roll, and a lot of '60s minimalist composers I really love. Like Morton Feldman is one of my very favorites, also.
You know, when I hear your album and your music, I always see you and the band maybe more like an artist project. You know, maybe you're planning or you're thinking about doing some things that not involve just record music, maybe in performances like live. Maybe sorry if I haven't heard of that, but maybe you're planning to do some extra artist acts.
We've done a few things. I've had a few books of haikus out. I think 4 or 5 different books, and we're starting to do more things it's still involved with music, but it's outside of the kind of band setting. We did some music for a ballet and are doing a long, kind of month-long installation of experimental percussion music.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that exploration. Have you heard some Latin American music? I mean, some rhythms from Latin music, African music that you're interested, or have you heard some Colombian music? Maybe?
Oh yeah. I unfortunately, and I'm a little embarrassed to say, I don't know Colombian music very well. But I grew up and live in Los Angeles, so I know Mexican music pretty well, or just in terms of Spanish music. But I haven't had a chance to listen to much Colombian music. Is there anything you would recommend?
Yeah, there's some amazing stuff that they're doing, mixing some roots from cumbia and this African music and electronic music. So there's there's a group called Me Too that are mixing this Me Too that is called these 15-minute explorations just about like a trance. I don't know. It's pretty amazing. Like your first question, you have to hear it. You have to hear this stuff to give a chance. Okay. So I will send you some links. How do you see the music of the future? What kind of music do you think the people in general will be doing in some decades? You think that there will be always robots and machines, or maybe what is your vision about the future of music?
Well, I think it will. I think in the next couple of years, I don't have a lot of hope for it. I think the internet has kind of diluted things quite a bit, but I think the next generation of people making music will have really learned to use the internet to be creative rather than to just emulate things that have happened in the past. And hopefully we'll hear something that we've never heard before. It's been a long time since there's been anything new, maybe 20 years. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to there being some freshness coming out.
What do you say that was the last big thing that we heard in music?
Oh, I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, I think grunge was probably the last really
Like the grunge from
everything that
Seattle?
happened after. Yeah. I mean, everything that's happened after that has been just sort of, looking back to something that happened before then.
Hey, man, I have this final question that I always try to ask to musicians. How do you see this? I mean, this is a very boring question, but how do you see this whole industry music right now, like the streaming deals, and you as an artist, how do you see the business? Because
Oh, well, I don't think it's a very good time for the business. I think it's, unfortunately, everyone has a very short view of things. It's not, to me, it seems like it's not fostering very much creativity. I mean, luckily people are not quitting. I mean, bands will always be there, and people who care about music will always push through all of the garbage that they have to deal with. But it's not the easiest time.
yeah,
But hopefully it will get better.
yeah, that's amazing, Jamie. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for yours. It's really, really nice to meet you. I really appreciate your support.
So maybe you can stay in touch for you bring you here in Colombia, and
Yeah.
I will send you the links.
Cool. Okay, have a good night.
Have a good night, Jamie. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.